Hey team, the purpose of today's teaching is to introduce you to the idea of creating a resources page for your research. I'm specifically gearing my language to students who are around 4th grade. Around that time, teachers introduce their students to the idea of ensuring that there's a resources page or a bibliography or a works cited page. As students move on to 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, teachers begin to change those expectations and they have more rules for the resources page. But very early on, teachers are very flexible. They just want to make sure that you're familiar with the process. So here I am inside Google Slides. I have several slides in my animal project. Starting off with the title, then I move on to the red-lipped batfish, talk about the oxalotl, and then I move on to talking about the fennec fox. And here I am rounding out my presentation. My presentation is far from being finished. It's very skeletal. It's at the beginning stages. I've got a lot of work to get done, but my focus again is coming over here to the resources page so that I let my teacher know what resources I used in my research. Let me take you to a few web pages and then kind of model some strategies. Listen to your teacher. Your teacher may tell you to do things a little bit differently from how I'm doing things. For example, instead of resources, your teacher may tell you to call it the bibliography. Or your teacher may tell you to call it the works cited page. Whatever your teacher's leadership, listen to your teacher and then call this area whatever your teacher has asked you to call it. When you are older, Purdue has a really nice website that talks about the standards for MLA and APA, but that's when you're older. Here I am over at the red-lipped batfish website that I used in order to grab some of my research. I noticed that it was updated on March 5th of 2020. I noticed that the title of the resource is Red-Lipped Batfish Diet, Features, and Habitat. And then the author's first and last name do not appear here. It's just a username. It's a contributing author who has provided information to this website, and I don't specifically see the first name and the last name. If your teacher ever asks you for those key pieces of information, be on the lookout for things like that. If your teacher only wants the website address, then scoot up here into the Omni box, click one time so that a blue shadow falls over all of the words, and then you can either right-click on your mouse and click right here where it says copy, or you can use 2 keyboard commands to achieve that same outcome. Hold the Control button down on your keyboard and touch the letter C. I have now copied that website address. I'm going to head back over here to Google Slides. I'm going to scoot over here into the area where it says red-lipped batfish. I'm going to click one time. I might need to click another time to make sure that my cursor appears in just the right spot. I'm going to use my keyboard all over again. I'm going to hold the Control button down. I'm going to touch the letter V for victory. And when I do that, the website address will appear right here. I'm now going to move on to the oxalotl, and I'll repeat that same process over here where it says oxalotl, and then I can right-click copy or Control-C on my keyboard. To come over here to Animal Project, I'm going to click right here next to oxalotl, and then I will paste that. Now, let's pretend that your entire presentation is all about the same animal. Maybe what you want to do is you want to specify that this is where you found the information about the oxalotl, but it was related to diet, what the animal eats. So if you want to let your teacher know that that's where you found information about the dietary or the eating habits of the oxalotl, you're more than welcome to include that information here. The other thing that your teacher may ask you to do is that your teacher may ask you to reference that information directly on the actual page. So if you found information from a specific author, if it said the author's name, maybe I'll write Barnes, indicating that the author by the name of last name Barnes provided me information related to that specific sentence. Lean into your teacher's leadership to see to what degree your teacher wants you to cite that information. Now, friends, if you officially go over to a website and you scoot down and then you just copy and paste information from that project onto your slide, and that's actually not helpful. That's stealing. You took something from someone else You did not give the author credit for their work, and you're lying to your teacher that you wrote that information. It's very easy for your teacher to figure out when you have lied, and unfortunately your teacher might have to give you a 0 on your project. The whole presentation might look cute and adorable and fantastic, but that's cheating and it's lying. You are telling your teacher that you did that work when you did not. It is absolutely okay to read that other website and to learn information about the animal, but then to record your own sentences on that topic. And that's what we want you to do, friends. Avoid plagiarism, give the original authors credit, and then build your own sentences, please and thank you. So I'm going to show you 2 resources that actually show you clearly how to do the references based on specific standards. I'm going to come over here to the Britannica website, and when I do that, there are 4 buttons right here, and this one says Cite, C-I-T-E. When I click Cite one time, this box appears, and then there's a drop-down menu that appears as well, and I have 3 choices, MLA, APA, and Chicago. There are several different citation strategies, and lean into your teacher's leadership to see if your teacher has one specific way that you want to cite things. And then right here on the page, they have formed that citation for me. Specific language, letting my teacher know where I found that information. And then I'm going to click right here where it says copy citation. Click, and it shows me that I copied that information. When I come over here to my project, I can click right here, spacebar one time, Control V for victory, and all that information that was just copied appears right here. Normally, the real way that we do a citation page, we don't have it say something at the beginning. It's just that citation information alone. Let me take you to another resource that also does the same thing. Inside Clever, we have access to Britannica. Inside Britannica, I was looking for information about frogs. Over here on the right-hand side, we have this little box with the check mark in it. And when I hover on top of it, see how that black item appears and it says Cite? That's what I want to do. When I click on the check mark one time, I now have that very same thing all over again. This time there are 4 options to choose from. MLA, APA, listen to your teacher's leadership, and then right there, the information appears. This time I don't have a cute little button that says copy, so I need to scoot in the box, push my index finger down on the left mouse button. I'm going to slide all the way over on top of all of this in order to illuminate it in blue. I'm going to right click on my mouse, and then I'm going to click right here where it says copy, or I can use my keyboard, Control C for copy, and then I can click done. I'm going to scoot all the way back over to my project. This one's about frogs. I'm going to come down the line. I'm going to hit enter, Control V for victory, and the information has appeared. Oh, Mrs. Culver, it doesn't look the way everything else looks. How can I fix that? Friends, let me teach you a strategy on how to fix that. Step number 1, click anywhere inside of a bunch of letters that look the way you want all the other letters to look. So I'm going to start right here. I've clicked somewhere on the page where I like those letters. Now I'm going to scoot up all the way over here to where it looks like I'm using a paint roller. Similar to a paintbrush, I'm going to paint someone's bedroom, and I'm going to use a roller to paint those walls. I'm going to click on that paintbrush one time. I'm now going to scoot over to the far right or the far left of the letters that I want to change. I'm going to click. I'm going to hold my index finger down. I'm going to slide. I'm going to cast a shadow on all of this text right here, and then when I let go, the computer's going to change the letter style for me. So I let go, and you'll notice that the letter style has changed. So if your teacher tells you that you're supposed to do it in MLA or APA, you're probably going to be in 5th or 6th grade at that point, then those are the strategies that you would use in order to cite it in a more complex way. At this point, friends, if you're in 3rd grade, if you're in 4th grade and your teacher's just introducing you to the process, your teacher may say that the web link alone is just fine. And your teacher may say that the author's name, if it's available inside of the resource, would be a good way to cite that specific slide where you gained or learned about that information. All right, friends, thank you so much for paying attention to today's presentation, and have a great day.